Hi everyone! In this video, we're going to cover the very basics of creating a greeting card in Cricut Design Space. So let's get started. Before we get started, there's a couple of things I wanted to point out for those of you who are very beginner and may not know this. If you'd like to change the color of the canvas that you're working on, I always do because I build my projects in white and then at the end I change the colors. So white on white is a little more difficult to work with, so I change my canvas color. Down on the bottom right layers panel, you'll see blank canvas. Tap on the white square and you'll get up on your toolbar the color, where you can switch to any color you like. That yellow is kind of bright for me, so I just tone it down to a softer beige. Also on the top left, between the two zeros, you see a blank square. If you click on that, you can turn the grid off and on. I mostly work with it off. So we're going to build a very basic card that will get you started making your own card projects. Let's say I want to make a card that is 5 by 7 when it's folded. And this method will apply to any size card that you want to make. But I'm going to make 5 by 7 folded. With our new expanded shapes panel, we can do so much without even having to go into our image tab. I'm going to select this rectangle. It's a free shape. Whether you have access or not, you can use it. And the first thing I'm going to do is make it white. I like this one with the rounded corners for making cards. Because I want my card base to be 5 by 7 when it's folded, I need to make my width double what I want. So I want 5 inches wide. I'm going to unlock this and I'm going to make it 10 inches wide. I know that's very basic math, but when you're just getting started, you've never made a card before, it might be a little confusing. So this is the basic rule of thumb. Whatever you want your folded card to be, just double it on your screen. But of course, we don't want the card to be 14 inches high, so for the height, we're just going to use 7. When this card is folded, it will be 5 by 7. The same is true if you're going to make a card that folds up from the bottom. In that case, I would get my shape. I'll take that rectangle again. I'll make it white. I want it to fold up from the bottom, so I will unlock it. I will make the height 10. And I will make the width 7. Either one of these cards, when folded, this will be 5 by 7, and when folded, this one will be 7 by 5. So let's remove this, and we'll work with the 5 by 7. The next thing you're going to do is add a score line. So you'll go back to shapes. Up on the top left, you have your free score line. I know that my card is 7 inches high, so I will immediately go to my top toolbar and change that to a 7. Because of all the tools we have in Design Space, you don't have to fuss about finding the center of the card. Just put them both on the screen, select both together, go to Align, and Center. And there you have it, exactly where you need it. All you need to do is attach. And this is the base for your card. Of course, you're not going to use the card just like this. From here, I always add layers to my card. I think they're prettiest when they have a lot of texture. And you have everything you could possibly want in design space. So let's dress up this card. I'll go back to shapes. I'll get another rectangle. When I put a layer inside my card or on the front of my card, I want it to show some of the base color. Let's go ahead and make this blue. I'll click on the rectangle and change it to a dark blue. That's a bit bright, so I'm going to advanced and make it darker. So that's my base color. I'm going to take this second rectangle and make it white. As I mentioned, when I place it on top of my card, I want it to show some of the base color. I know that my card is 5 by 7, so I'm going to make this top layer just a little smaller. I'm going to make it 4.75. I should have unlocked it. And for the height, I'm going to make it 6.75. And you can see when we add this layer to the card and center it, we have a bit of the card base color showing, which makes it really attractive. So this is going to be my inside layer. You want to have an inside layer to write on in a light or pastel color, especially when you're using a dark color for the base of your card. So all I need to do now for my outside layer is right click and duplicate it. And I have my outside layer. We have a plain inside and a plain outside. So let's do something fun with it. I'll take my outside layer. I'm going back to basic shapes and I'm going to get a star. Let's take that star over to my outside layer. We'll place it here. Select both together, align, and I'm going to center it horizontally. I don't want to click just center because it will end up in the center of the layer, and that's not where I want it. So let's make it a little larger. Select both together. We'll align and center horizontally again, and that looks good. And I'm going to right click and slice. We'll take away the black. I'll delete it. We'll take away the white, but I'm going to keep it. Let's move to the front. Let's do something decorative with the star that we just cut out. We'll put this back on the front of our card. I'm going to use offset. That offset is much larger than I want, so I'm just going to reduce that size to 0.10 and hit enter. That's nice. I'll apply. So now this offset is black. Let's select both together and group them. We could leave it black. It's actually kind of cute. I think I'll do that. But I'm going to duplicate it again. And I'm going to make it smaller and put it in the center. Oh, I like that. That's cute. So we want to decorate around that star. You don't really want all this plain space. If you do, you can leave it just like this. Or let's take this star and duplicate it again. Let's make it a little smaller. You can decorate around the card. And duplicate again. If you have a lot of little embellishments and you want to use metallic stars, or you want to use little gemstones, or you can do something like that. Don't add too much. You want it to look clean and really nice. I find that using odd numbers works best when it comes to embellishments. So let's make a tag for the bottom of this card. But before we do that, I want to do something. I want to look at this large star. I'm going to click on the layer that is the offset, go to my color tab, and let's see what it looks like blue. It matches the base of the card, but it doesn't really pop. What if we were to make it bright red? Oh, that's pretty too. I think I like that. So let's click on these little stars and go to the offset and click those to bright red. And they pop even more than the black. So I suggest that you play with the colors. Add different colors, see how you like them. We have one more black star here. Let's change it to red also. And that is really, really cute. At the bottom of this card, you could write with your pens in your machines. You could add a colored image. You could add more stars, anything like that. But I think I'll go back to shapes. I don't see a banner in the free shapes. I do see one in the access shapes. Let's take that one. I'm going to make it white. Then I'm going to offset. And you'll see that offset kept the last size that I used for the star. So I'm just going to hit apply. Let's make that bright red also. Isn't that cute? I'm going to put it here, unlock it. I don't want it to be taller, but I do want it to be wider. That's just about what I'd like to have. So let's write happy birthday. I'll go to text and write happy. I'm going to shrink it down and I'm going to use the curve tool to make it curve so that it fits on this banner nicely. That's very cute. Let's change that to black, or we can use the dark blue that we have on the base of the card. Now I'm going to write birthday. Shrink it again and go back to my curve tool. And now I'll curve it in the opposite direction so that it follows the shape of the banner. Bring it here. We can make it larger. And we'll tip it a little. That's cute. And let's make it blue. I really like that. These little letters would be a little difficult to cut out, so I'm just going to take away my offset. If I was doing it, I would probably flatten this and have it print out and then layer it on top of this red offset. But if you don't want to use print and cut, what you could do is instead of using this thick font, you could go up to your top toolbar, click on the regular and change it to writing. And see how it becomes something you can write with your pen? Let's do the same for happy. I just change it to writing. We can do it this way. But it's not as visible, so I think to write it, I would change it to black. And change birthday. There we go. If you're going to do writing, you'll then select both together and attach. We'll select both of these, align and center. And let's group them so we can move them around. Isn't that cute? Let's do something with the decorative with the inside. We don't have to, but I think it would be fun. I'm going to images. I'm going to look for happy birthday. And for operation type, I'm going to choose draw only. The first one that comes up is very cute. I'll select that and add to canvas. We need to shrink that down so it fits better on our card, and I'll put it down at the bottom. That looks nice. I'm going to check on the color. It says black glitter gel, but I think I'll just use a black fine point for this. I'm going back to images. I'll leave draw only selected, and I'm going to look for balloons. I'll take this one. It's cute. Add to canvas. And let's bring that over. I'm going to unlock it. I'm going to make it more narrow. Maybe I should make this a little smaller so I have more space for the balloons. I'm going to unlock this again, make it a little smaller. And that's very cute. I'll just check the balloons are using fine point and black, so I'm only using one pen. You can use as many pens as you like, of course. We'll select all this together and attach. And this can be the inside of the card. Maybe move this banner up if you'd like to add a bow to the bottom or center it up more. And isn't that a cute card? So easy to do. You mostly used free basic shapes. And by the way, for this banner, there isn't one in free shapes, but if you scroll down, click search for more. Single is checked, check free, and search for banner. And there you have some that are free. You could have easily used this one. It's very cute. Make it a little larger. And go ahead and use it the same way we did this one that comes with Access. So add your offset, select the color you want to use, add your font, and use curved text to make your sentiment fit right inside of it. So even if you don't have this Access shape, you can find one in free. Lots of times when I share a card, someone will tell me, well, I don't own that image, it's charging me 99 cents or whatever it's charging. You can just remove that image from the card and add something free or something you do own. So this is a very basic example of making a 5x7 card. I hope it's going to help you make your own cards. I think our next card will be an easel card. They're not difficult to make and they're really fun. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you'd like to follow me on Facebook, right below this video, in the description you'll find links to my groups.